Hi everyone, this is Tina with Dirt Therapy, and today we are going to be decorating the extended front porch area. Now that we were able to tear out the lion raised flower bed and my husband came in and put concrete in, you'll see this in the last video. So check that one out. And now we're going to be working on decorating the area. This is our extended front porch. So where you see the darker concrete is where the existing concrete was. And here where you can see the lighter gray concrete surrounded by a bottom part of the wall of each of the raised beds, front and back, this is the new space. So what we did is we had walls that were about 18 inches tall and on either side, and we had a lion on this end. I'll see if I can throw up the before picture just so you can see it. All of the hostas that you see here were planted in this area. And so I removed those, we removed the rock, took out all the dirt, took out both walls. We were originally going to keep the one wall, but decided to take it out because it was bowing. The front wall we were going to keep in, but we took that out. We leveled out the space of dirt, and then my husband put the concrete in, and that was a few days ago. So now we pressure washed it earlier today. It's still wet in a couple of spots, but I think it's going to be really good. So the original space here is only about 5.5 feet, and so by adding a little bit more, almost 2 feet of extra space, now we really can use the space as we want to. So we're going to decorate it up. One thing I might add is that we got this bistro set on like a Facebook Marketplace find, and although I love the way the chairs are designed and the table, I don't like the rusty parts of it, so I am planning on painting that in a different project. But for now, we're just going to leave it. We have the holidays coming up for 4th of July, and we just want to make this look like a finished space so our guests can see our new look. I got this beautiful rug at the at-home store, and I thought that this was going to be perfect for this space. Now it is a 5x7, and the reason we had to go with a 5x7 is because of the space that we have here. We just don't have enough space to put an 8x10, which is what would have been ideal to cover this area that we want to. However, I think that this is going to really make it stand out as a livable space. Now I'm trying to keep it into more of a neutral colors, just because I'm going to have a lot of color going on with the pots and everything that I am incorporating into this space. I wasn't sure if you could see, but we did add the other pot up next to the lion area. Now the lion eventually is going to go into the back, but for now it can stay on that little pony wall that we have to separate the area from the driveway, because there is a big drop there and we don't want anybody getting hurt, especially we have a young grandson who may fall off that section. So we've put the pot there in the gap area right up next to the lion, so it will prevent anybody from falling there. We've also already added this little bistro set. I got it at Facebook Marketplace. I gave you a little bit of a close-up picture of it, and I'm not a super fan of the rusty look on the top, so I will be sanding it down and repainting it at a later time. But for right now, we just want to get through the holidays, and then I will address that later. Probably paint it a little more of the colors that we are looking for in this space. In fact, I have the perfect color that I am possibly going to paint it. When we were at the at-home store, I also picked up multiple different size and colored pots that I feel are going to be perfect for the aesthetic that I'm going for. I've got some sage green, some natural terracotta, some two browns that really go with the brown. Our home is a cream color with brown trim. So I wanted to make sure that we kind of stayed within that same color palette. And then I got a yellow terracotta type, looks very aged. And I think that those color combinations are going to be perfect for this area. And each of the brown has a little bit different design. Next, I am moving in the chairs that we have from our back wood deck patio. They were great in that location, but I think that they'll fit so much better out here in this area. We have two chairs, and then eventually when we decide if we want to put some rockers out here or something else, then we can decide. But for now, we're just going to decorate it with the two chairs that we have. We also have a little end table that was being used to show you all of the pots that I got at the store. And I'm going to use this as a little coffee table. Next, I'm just adding some decorative pillows to the space. It is going to rain tonight, so they're not going to stay out. But I love how they're reversible. So if we wanted the yellowish color to show, we could do that. In fact, it will go really well with the yellowish color of the terracotta pot that we got today. In fact, I think I might like it even better. We're going to see. I think I like the yellowish color better. Now I will be potting up all of these planters that we have. I will be planting them up on another video. But for today, I'm just trying to stage it to where we've got a beautiful area to sit. Now this is the area where you would enter into our front door. Our front door is right behind this rack, and I've always incorporated this rack for many reasons. When there was COVID, we used it as a place for deliveries to be dropped off. That way they wouldn't have to be on the ground. But I like the idea that my husband came up with is to put it here in this area so where it feels like it's more like a room and it feels like you have a doorway to walk through to get to the front door. And I just love that idea. So I'm also going to put some decorative items on the shelf here. Oh, I do like it elevated just slightly. Next, I am taking some of those rocks that we cleaned up out of the lion raised flower bed, and I'm putting them to use. Now, some of them, the smoother ones, went into our pond and gave it an extra layer of rock in there, and it looks so good in there. But the pieces that are a little more jagged and they can't go inside the pond because we don't want to hurt that liner, are in buckets, and I haven't really been able to figure out what I'm going to do with them yet. So I am going to make a tabletop, sorry, fireworks, 4th of July time frame. I'm going to take those rocks and I am going to put them in here with the fuel. So we just have these cans of the clean burning fire gel, and that is just going to sit here in here. And this is pretty level with it. I might just put one layer of rock underneath it just to give it a little bit of a height. And I'm going to choose some really thin rocks because I want it to not be too high, but I also want it to be level. There, and now it is level. Now I can start working the rocks around the rest. And I'm trying to find multicolored rocks just so they don't all look the same color. So I think this is how I'm going to do it. It took me a hot minute to try to figure out what I really wanted to do. And I think that this is the best option. It brings in all of the colors that I'm looking for, and I think it plays really well with each other. So just to go over the cost perspective on this, on this porch flip is what we're going to call it. The concrete, it costs us about $40 for the concrete. That part was all just labor intensive that we had to do to dig it out, and my husband to put the concrete in. The Facebook Marketplace find of the bistro table and chairs was $15, I believe. We already had the 2 gray pots and we had the patio furniture. So the only thing that I added into the patio furniture are the throw pillows, and those were $40 together. The coffee table was also a piece of the furniture that we already had. I had that orange bowl, and the rocks were used from the lion raised bed, and we had a can of the fuel gel already for our other fire bowl. we already had these 2 pots and the hosta that got shredded by hail. And then the only other things that cost us was the 3 pots on the top, the yellow pot that is on its side, and then that dark brown pot at the bottom. The rest were pots that I already had, the sun I already had, and the lantern where you can add a candle I already had. So in total, I would say that I also got some of these for 50% off, these pots. So I spent maybe $100 on the pots and then $70 on the rug. So in all, this makeover was well under $500. So really good deal to do this little makeover.